Welcome to this tutorial on how to move the character using keyboard events. So last lesson, you should have learned how to select the character and build the set around it. So you should have control over using my first method here over the movement or how the set will interact with each other. So for example, with the Mad Hatter, you will be able to say or move in a certain direction. Now, how do I then get it to move in the direction that I wanted to do using my keyboard events? Then what you need to do is you need to go to initialize event listener. So before we begin, an event is something that would trigger something. So the list of events and event listeners include, well, keyboard, mouse, or position or orientation, which will go in a little bit more detail later. So namely, proximity, which means if character or if an object is too close to a certain thing, then do something. But this lesson would focus on the keyboard events to move it around as we like. Okay, so what you actually need if you want to control using the arrow keys, then you need to go to event listener, keyboard, and it's important that you select the arrow key press listener. Okay, not the key press, the arrow key press listener. So this means that whenever you press a key, then you're going to start running this procedure. Okay, so what we need to do then is if I just put something like if arrow key is pressed, then the Mad Hatter will move forward. Oops, move forward by a little bit. So if I run this program now and as I press any arrow key, okay, so I'm pressing any arrow key, it's only going to move forward, including the left and right arrow key, because you haven't actually told the program what happens if you press different keys. All it's registering is whenever arrow key is pressed, then it's going to move forward. Okay, so that's obviously not what we want to do. So we need to do a little bit more. So I can, what I need to do is introduce an if statement. And now this if statement is going to see which key is being pressed. So by default, I'll do this again. I want to go if statement, okay, and then I'll just select true for the time being, okay. So, but what we can do is there are some events on the top here we can use, namely is key, okay. So now I'm able to actually drag this if key into here, and then I can select arrow left, okay. So what this is saying is if the arrow key that I'm pressing is the button left, then I want the Mad Hatter to move towards its left. Okay, so now if I press run, if I press up, down, right, nothing's going to happen. But if I press left, it's going to shift to the left. Okay, and any other keys don't work. So what you actually need to do then is you need another if statement, another if statement. In fact, you need at least 4 if statements to be able to move forward, backwards, left, and right. Okay, so I can drop another if statement around here. And now this time around, I want to do an if key is right. Then I want the Mad Hatter to move towards the right. And next, I put another if statement down there. Oh, you need to be very careful when you do this. Third time lucky. Then event key is up. Then you want to move forward. And finally, if your event key is down, then you want to move backwards. Okay, so having completed all this, it's first registering if your arrow key is being pressed, then it's going to check which key it is, and then before deciding which of the statement it's going to do. Okay, now that I have all the different movements listed, what I can do now is I can move forward, backwards, left, and right for the character move. Now, one thing that I didn't actually explain, but you need to add, or you should add, is set vehicle command. So what I've done is I set the camera to this Manhattan. So set vehicle means it's as if it's latched onto the frame of reference of the Manhattan. So as the Manhattan moves, the camera moves along with it. Okay, so now this can be handy trick if you want to do anything first person. So for example, I'm now back to my hang on. I'm now back to the setting our scenes part. And what I can do is I can turn it around, I can move forward. All right, and please don't treat this like a game because you can do much better than this. I can drop it down to about here. And besides that little thing, halo. Now I'm actually seeing from the point of view of the Manhattan as I move forward, as I move left, as I move right. So to add a little bit more excitement, I can actually increase its. So every time I press a single key, okay, it's going to move forward 1 unit instead of 0.25. So now we're actually going along about 4 times quicker than before. And now I can explore this set and no matter which way I go. Some people actually prefer to say if the key is right, they want to turn to the right instead of turn to the left. So, and turning means it's turning on the spot. Right, so that one there, I can turn to the right. And then if it's left, get rid of that. I can turn this to the left. Now, 0.25 means 0.25 a circle. So imagine one circle being like this. A 0.25 a circle is like a 90-degree turn. So you'll become apparent as I run this. Okay, so now as I press left, it's going to turn on the spot for 90 degrees. So what I can do now is I can actually navigate around this place. Like I'm playing a first-person game. So I can now turn. But now one thing that we haven't actually got this character to do, okay, is it doesn't know what walls are. So there's no way it knows where the walls are, and you just treat it like any blank space. So I've actually achieved walking through a wall. Okay, so I'm no problem walking through that wall there. So the next, and in this case, the camera is actually behind the wall. Okay, so in the next tutorial, I can show you how you can sense whether it's too close to the wall, so it's doing something, and all the other time you can do other things. Okay, cool.